Have you ever hit send on a really important email and then, bam, you spot a typo? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we are going to dive into some of the most common English grammar mistakes, the ones that trip up pretty much everyone, so you can start communicating with way more confidence and clarity. And hey, you might be surprised to hear this, but you are definitely not alone. I mean, from simple typos to these really tricky slip ups, grammar is a challenge that even the most seasoned writers and speakers run into all the time. So, why does it matter so much? Well, because good grammar is literally the foundation of clear communication. Without it, our messages get all tangled up, and that leads to all sorts of misunderstandings. It's really about making sure what you think you're saying is exactly what people are hearing. Okay, so if we all know it's important, what's the first major hurdle? Well, before we can even start fixing mistakes, we kind of have to face this universal struggle we all have when it comes to looking at our own work. And honestly, this is probably the hardest part. Our brains are these funny things that are wired to read what we meant to write, not what's actually there on the screen. It's why trying to find our own mistakes can feel like looking for a needle in a haystack. So let's get our eyes trained up. We're going to look at a few of the most frequent offenders, the kind of mistakes that can make your sentences confusing or, let's be real, sometimes just plain funny. Okay, this is a perfect example of something called a misplaced modifier. In that first sentence, the way it's written, it actually sounds like the exam pulled an all-nighter studying. See how weird that is? By just rephrasing it, it becomes crystal clear who actually did the studying. This one pops up constantly. So, who was eating? The first sentence leaves it completely up in the air. Was it the dog? Was it a person? The second version clears that right up. The key takeaway here is to always ask yourself who is actually doing the action in this sentence. And of course, you've got these classics. Switching tenses in the middle of a story can totally throw your reader off. And misusing homophones, words that sound the same, like there and there, that can completely change what you're trying to say. Oh, and forgetting a comma in a list, that can create some seriously strange mental pictures. All right, now let's get into one of the biggest battles in English grammar, what I like to call the subject-verb showdown. This is all about making sure your subject and your verb are a perfect match. Now, this is a rule that trips up so many people. We see the word team and we think of all the players, right? But in American English, a word like team is treated as one single thing, a collective noun. That's why it needs a singular verb. The team is. Now, the players on the team are, but the team itself is. Fun fact though, in British English, it's actually pretty common to treat collective nouns as plural, so the team are would be totally fine over there. Okay, get ready. We're about to go head to head with two of the most confusing word pairs in the entire English language. But don't you worry, I've got a couple of super simple tricks that are going to help you master them for good. Ah, yes, the age-old question. This one has stumped writers for, well, forever. But what if I told you there's a ridiculously easy, foolproof way to get it right every single time? Meet the he-him trick. And trust me, this is a game changer. All you have to do is rephrase your sentence as a question and then answer it with either he or him. That's it. The answer literally tells you which word to use. Let's see it in action, right? Let's say the sentence is about who ate the cookie. You'd ask, who ate the last cookie? And the answer would be, he ate it. Since the answer is he, you know that who is the right choice. See? Simple. All right, one boss battle down, one to go. Let's finally, once and for all, conquer the confusion between affect and affect. Okay, first up, affect. Just remember this. Affect is an action. It's a verb. It does something. It influences or changes a situation. Just think A for action, affect. And then you've got effect. Effect is a thing, it's a noun. It is the result, the consequence of that action. So just think E for end result. Let's put it all together in a sentence. The rain is doing something, right? It's the action. So the rain will affect the parade. And what was the outcome of that action? Well, the effect of the rain was pretty significant. See? One's the action, the other is the result. So we've gone through some really tricky rules here. But the goal isn't just about memorizing rules to be correct. It's about empowering you to get your ideas across with some real confidence. And this is probably the most important thing to take away from all of this. You don't have to be perfect overnight. Just being aware of these common pitfalls is a massive leap forward. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own language. So let's do a quick recap of your new grammar toolkit. Keep an eye out for those sneaky misplaced modifiers. Make sure your subjects and verbs are getting along. Use that awesome he, him trick for who and whom. And always remember, affect is the action, effect is the end result. And now I want to hear from you. What's that one grammar rule that always makes you pause and second guess yourself? Let us know, because just thinking about it is the very next step on your way to mastering it. Thanks for tuning in.